See, Brittany, are you there? Oh, hey, girlfriend.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, awesome. There we go. We're set. We're locked in. And we're going to get this going for you guys. Let us know that everything is all right. And we are going to just fly into it. So, welcome. Oh, my gosh. Happy Tuesday. I never know what day it is. So excited to do. I'm actually going to take this off right now so we can be side by side. There we go. I'm going to take this off. Hello. There we go.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm honored. Host the Post has been popping. Did you guys see Rachel and Tiara on yesterday? They were amazing, just giving us the basics and giving us an introduction. So if you're new here, just know we're going to take care of you and you're going to be a pro before you know it. And so we're excited to talk to you today about implementing Host the Post into your life and doing a Sabbath. Okay, it's so crazy. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Rachel Wiggum. Crazy. I have been with this business for 7 years, and I am an ambassador diamond, and I'm here with my girl, Brittany.
My name is Brittany Jason. I've been with this amazing company for 6 years, and I am a double diamond.
Come on, double diamond. Just recently promoted. Shout out to you. I'm so excited. And it's so crazy how this just all comes together because you have some things that you're going to share about walking into that obedience and actually taking the day off, and then where your business has just changed and got to now. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. I do want to share a little story about how I even got into taking. Well, we're going to go back and forth because this is my friend here. So we're going to make this a conversation today. Make it super laid back, relaxed, and get y'all some good content. So Brittany, as you know, because you've been with me here for a long time, when we first started this business, we were going like Ferrari, okay? Ferrari nonstop. And honestly, my friend, you was one that got left behind because my Ferrari.
Yes.
Because I was on a Ferrari. Like I went, you didn't want to go with me, you ain't gotta go, but we gonna go. And listen, okay? We were mean, but we were just trying to really go into it. And I got to this place where it was like, okay, you can't sustain a Ferrari speed for years. And at first I just came in because I just wanted some extra money. I didn't really see the destination. And so if you're here, I want you to know that you're not here for just a moment. You're here for a journey. There is no destination because once you get to the next destination, God is going to reveal to you the next destination. And so take the quitting off the table, give us a year and it'll change your life, but see a journey instead of a destination, or from destination to destination. It's something that I absolutely love. And at first I only saw one destination and it was like, and then what, right? So I was in a place, and I want to tell you, if you're new, we want you to implement it, period. But if you've been here for a while, we're going to take you through the things that made us realize that something had to break. Like something had to break. And so, Brittany, we talked about some things yesterday. And I know for me, like one, if you're irritable, like when it comes to your business, like on edge, right? Irrational thinking, right? Like you're not even thinking straight anymore. Like you like your kids in the bath and you out in the living room sending messages and
not even paying attention.
Or the dinner on the stove and you burning up your husband's biscuits because you got to sign a loyal customer. Like that's where we were. It was that whole like I got to grind over walking in God's grace. Unorganized and won't get organized.
Yes, it's like you don't even want to take a moment to get organized because you feel like it's just going to take from you getting the work that you need to get done. Like you don't even want to take a moment and stop and regroup because you're just going.
Right, and then it's not even fun anymore. No. It's like it becomes something that you just like you obsess over. And not that it's not good to obsess over your business, because it is. You want to be successful, but you have to have those limitations and boundaries. And boundaries is a real thing. So I was at this place, Brittany. I was killing everybody. And I was doing hair one day and I was listening to this sermon by Pastor Michael Todd. So if you guys do not know who that is, Pastor Michael Todd, Pastor Robert Morris, they are big. Well, Pastor Robert Morris is somebody who talks about it every single year. But if you haven't, just in YouTube, go click Take a Day Off, put that in, search that, and then put Michael Todd, and you'll be able to see this sermon he did. And yeah, Brittany, because it was a while before you got to see this sermon.
Yeah.
Because Rachel was like, I'm not telling them to take a day off because listen, y'all don't work as it is in the little 5 seconds I get from y'all. But it was so wrong. But eventually, once I understood the grace over grind and that God honors the Sabbath, it was like, oh no, I want everybody to take a day off. Everybody take it off. And this is how I explain it, Brittany. And maybe you can explain how you kind of understand it. But for me, taking a day off puts me in a position to where I respect my business more. It puts boundaries on my business, and then it gives my business back to God to where I have to actually trust him. And then, Brittany, it makes me show up as my best self. Because if I'm taking this day off and I have a time where I stop during the day and I have a time where I begin, because listen, I was the one who was 1 a.m. You can hit me on my next tail chirp because I was going to answer, okay? You know my boo. I was gonna answer like in the middle of the bed with my husband. If you dinged me at 2 a.m. and I heard it, I was signing you as a loyal customer or distributor. Yeah. So crazy, okay? It was insane. So what about for you?
So for me, it was, like you said, I already didn't work as I should. And so I felt like in the beginning that I didn't deserve a Sabbath, because I wasn't working enough. But I had to realize, like you said, it's a trust thing between you and God. It doesn't even matter about, what you're, like, if you're working enough or what you're doing, like that is neither here nor there when it comes to the Sabbath. But like you said, it makes you respect the 6 days that you do work, because you know that you are going to take a day off. And it was hard in the beginning. Like, it was hard. Like, I would get notifications and things like that before I started to turn them off, and I wouldn't want to answer. Like, it was so hard to trust that they were going to still be there the next day when I came back to work. And so, yeah, it just makes you respect your business, and it makes you respect your time, but then it also makes or allows other people to respect your time as well.
That you're not. Yes, that's so good. And I'm glad you said that, because let's talk about effectively taking a day off, and then we're going to get into some tips and tricks in order to feel more confident with taking a day off and taking a step away. So number one, like you said, when you are taking a day off, here's the thing. I just want to give you guys some perspective. We run a social media business, period. And now you don't have no choice because you ain't going to nobody's houses, okay? So you run a social media business. So your social media presence is your job. I know this is something that Brianna and we kind of bumped heads with when I first started 7 years ago, because it was like, you put your number online and you stay on your phone, and what's up with these selfies, and you doing too much. And it's like, no, these are my coins. Like, this is how I'm going to make money. He understands now. But your social media is your business. Mm-hmm. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if your social media is the only way that you, and I love to say this, if your social media is the only way that you communicate with your family, do better. Mm-hmm. Okay, but let's talk about it. How do you take a day off? Like, so for me, number one, you have to log out or turn off the notifications for every single social media platform. Mm-hmm. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Phone on Do Not Disturb. And if you can, put your phone completely away. Because even sometimes on Do Not Disturb and notifications off and everything like that, it's just a muscle memory when you pick up your phone to open up the app. That's why it's important to log out, because when you get to that login screen, you're like, nope, I'm not supposed to be on social media today. So if you can leave your phone at home and just have your husband or your spouse or somebody that's around you take pictures of you on your Sabbath, that would be the best bet, because for a fact you're not going to get tripped up by habit. So
You speaking the word, because that's real. Like it is. And for the long, even now, I've been taking days off for 2 years now. And there are times when my muscle memory will pull it up and I'm like, oh no, put my phone away completely, because that, I mean, it's just something that's innate. It's something that's inside of you. And so you're automatically going to do it. And then like we were talking about, before you know it, you'll be scrolling and you'll be like, what am I doing? And so completely putting it away. All right, let's just be honest, Brittany. When did you get a cell phone? Like,
at least freshman year.
but either way, it wasn't out here with no social media on it. You couldn't get on MySpace.
No.
You couldn't get on MySpace. I'm just saying, you had to be on a computer to get on MySpace. So you're not, listen, you can be without your phone. Stop thinking that you cannot be without your phone. You can be without your phone. And so for me, it's completely putting away, trusting and just obeying in the matter. So what do? You don't work. Like, you just don't work. And here's the thing. I want to say this. Take the time to go watch, and somebody from, the squad, go ahead and drop the link to the Take a Day Off by Pastor Todd. But you have to understand why you're doing what you're doing. I honor God, and we are a part of a Christian-based business. I honor God, and because I honor God, I have decided to be obedient. Yeah, I didn't want to. I'm going to be honest in the beginning. I love it now. I look forward to it.
Right.
Because you never know what you're missing until you get it. And so when I finally, I took that day, when I took my first day off, Brittany, I could not, the world looked different. I had not been away from my phone for 24 hours. I'm looking at my husband different. Hello, Zaire. Just playing. I looked at my kids different. I don't know. My kids might have had freckles and I never even knew, because I don't look at them for 5, my phone is my priority. It sucks you in, it draws you in. And so just completely disconnecting, I was able to be even more grateful for why I was working the way I was working.
Yes. You get to appreciate the fruits of your labor. Like, you actually get to if you're at home or you're doing this business because you want to be at home with your family, you get to then enjoy your family and enjoy the reason why you're doing what you're doing. And so, in the beginning, I tell my team all the time, like, I don't necessarily want to take a Sabbath, just because I want to take a day off. Like, I would work. If it wasn't for my relationship and allowing God to know that I trust him with my business, that's the only reason I take a Sabbath. It's a trust thing between me and God.
Gotta get it how you live, okay? Out here, get it.
Yes. Okay.
So I have been doing this for 2 years now, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. It's been quite a journey. It has been a journey, but the obedience has always paid off. And then also I'm able to keep people here for the long run, because you guys got to know, and this is whether you're new and this is why this is something that we actually teach our newbies. We teach our newbies to take a day off, because you think about a newbie who comes in and gets so much success and they've never had success that they could control in their life. That was me. I was not in control of my life. It gave me the ability to be in control of my life and my finances. And so this was a new concept, because, doing hair, I had to stand on my feet for 8 hours. And you telling me I could just go do this and do that and do that. And just the simplicity of what we do. Mm-hmm. I was obsessed, Brittany. And you know it.
Yes.
I was obsessed. And then I became obsessed with other people winning, because I understood that that's how you truly win. And so I was like a machine that needed to be reprogrammed. And taking this day off has allowed me to see people for where they are, where they want to go, and continue to focus my business forward. And so if you've never done it before, my suggestion is that you watch the video and that you watch it with your spouse, you watch it with your family, because this is a family concept for us. My mom knows, my husband's mom knows, my grandma knows, like everyone knows that Rachel takes this day off, and and that means off from everything, everybody and everything. All right, so let's talk about duplication and boundaries and burnout real quick, and then we'll go into the tips.
So you definitely want to duplicate that Sabbath. So like she was saying, you don't want your newbies to come in and burn out, or you yourself don't want to burn out, because this is a marathon. It's not a race, like what is it? A race to where, you have to run as a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And so you don't want to burn out, and you want to duplicate that throughout your team. So like even on my personal team, my diamond, first person enrolled diamond, she promoted to diamond on her Sabbath.
On her Sabbath, shout out to you.
Real. It's real. So you want to create those boundaries as well, for yourself and for your team, because you will respect your time, respect your business, and then your team will then respect your time, and then also respect their own time and their business. So it just, from the head flows, it trickles down, and you want to make sure that this is duplicated throughout your organization, because we want everybody here for the long run. We want them to be able to reap the harvest of the work that they're putting out there.
Absolutely. And then even the consistency of the day is really important. This is important not only for your team, but also your customers and for yourself. Yes. For you, so that because you don't work your Sabbath into your week, you work your week around your Sabbath. And so this is something that's really important, because we're fickle, okay, as people. And so if it's up to me, I have Sabbath on this day, on that day. I ain't missing that, and I ain't missing that, and I'm gonna do this. So I don't work God into my schedule. I work my schedule around God. And so when I look at it like that, it holds a different regard. And so consistency, we'll move into the business side. Consistency allows you to verbalize on your social media that I'm off on Wednesdays. So my customers know I'm off on Wednesdays. The consistency of when I sign a new distributor, I say, hey, I'm off on Wednesdays. I do not work at all on Wednesdays. But there is never an emergency that's going to happen in your business that I cannot fix on Thursday. Like, it's not that deep. Like, calm down. Like, it's really not. And you have to explain that to them. Nothing is ever unfixable. Yep, nothing is ever in a place to where you can't repair it. Like, it's just not. So don't panic. I'll get to it on Thursday. Just keep moving forward. Then, Brittany, it made our squad actually put resources in place and the togetherness of the team, which lets them know that at any given moment, there's someone. And then with It Works giving us so many resources, there is always a resource. And it helps people be self-sufficient too, because maybe you're too available.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Oh, wow. Yes. You want to create a team of leaders. And so if you're always available and always readily there to answer any and every question, they are not going to be able, you're not putting them in a position to even learn to be self-sufficient in this business. And so the Sabbath definitely plays a part in that, because they cannot reach you. And like you said, there's no emergency that is worth me breaking my promise and my trusting with God. So I'll hit you when I come back, but you have resources there, you have other leaders there, and things that are in place for you to be able to be successful, regardless if I'm there or not. And so you want that.
And then the other side of it, the Bible does say if your sheep is in a ditch, get your sheep, like if something is really going on, but I make it very clear, like, unless there has to be something that's really going on for me to be contacted on my day off, right? Yes. So I want to give a shout out real quick to Brittany in this moment and why she's on here with me, because she is someone who consistently kills it on Host to Post every single week. And I say consistently, right? Consistent enrollments. And on average, maybe about 6 to 10 enrollments a week with implementing your Sabbath and the consistency of, they constantly rolling in. You're constantly a top enroller every single week. And so I want you to talk about how you effectively, and I know you said it starts with the mind. So how do you effectively implement a Sabbath into your week, especially as a double diamond leader?
Well, you just do it. It's just something that you have to do. Like, you just figure it out. But one thing that I like to do before I go out on Sabbath is to get a whole bunch of HAPs up. And so what I want you guys to do in this moment is release, breathe and release about the fact of thinking that you have to get them right when they comment. Because once they're interested, they're always interested.
Amen.
So I actually get a whole bunch. I had heard somebody say, well, I'm about to go out on Sabbath, so I'm not going to get any host post up. No, you want to get the host to post up so that you can come back to momentum, massive momentum. You don't want to have to come back and restart the momentum. You want to go out with the momentum working for you. That's another way that you can rest assured that God is putting his super on your natural because you gave him something to put the super
Come on now,
on.
plant the seed. Plant the seed. That's good.
Yes. And so you want him to work for you. You want your host to post in Facebook land working for you and doing this job as you're relaxing, refreshing, adjusting, on that day and refueling. So I get a whole bunch.
So me today because my day's off tomorrow, so I'm just like, okay, Rachel, you need to get a 15.
So you want to get a whole bunch up. You want to get more than 10. So if the goal is 10 a day, you want to get more than 10 up before you go out. And even if you don't get them up, you want to get a whole bunch of the ask out. So even when you come back, you have people there ready for you, ready to post for you. And then your post is up at the beginning of the day and working all day for you. So that is my mindset and behind the Sabbath, using the Sabbath effectively for my host post or, working my host post, even with the Sabbath in the week. And so that's the biggest thing for me, my biggest tip. But then outside of that, you want to be loud about you being off. So communicating that with the people that you're talking to that are maybe on the fence and still thinking about it, posting carts on your status. So actually
I'm gonna get into that.
Yep,
because we're gonna go through it all. So if you guys don't thank you, Brittany, because you definitely let me know what's up. Okay, help me right now today. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can post your cart on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to Jay Hooper. This is how I learned this. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Before I do that, on top of what Brittany said is the mindset, like understanding that it don't, like they're not going to, come on. Like one day, now they don't want to buy the coffee. Ain't the coffee that good? Like one day, and now they don't want to grow their edges no more. Like, come on, they still want to grow their edges. Like they still want them back. Okay, so one day is not going to take away your money. Like it's just not gonna do it, and we rebuke that right now in the name of Jesus. Like that mindset. So, and then getting up lots of host to post up the day before you come back, so you can come back with this boom effect, right? So also. Posting a cart, like Brittany said, you can post your cart on your social media status saying I'm taking a day off. I know a lot of our team has started to do that. And then you can also put up a story in your, like if you do a lot of stories, put up a story right before you shut down that says, like mine just says closed on Wednesdays. Like, closed on Sundays. She's my Chick-fil-A, okay? Yeah. Y'all know I can't help myself. So add a story to. Yep. And then also when you create your graphic for your clothes on whatever day you take off, you can favorite it in your album so that you always readily have access to it. So you don't have to like scroll through or make a new one. Make the graphic, favorite the picture, the graphic, so that you always have immediate access to it to add it to your stories. So I'm going to hop on here. But Brittany, in the midst of this, give me one tip. About sending the carts. To talk about sending a cart for people who are thinking. Talk about that as I get on here.
Yep. So you know how you have people who you're in conversation with them, but they're still thinking, or they might have not replied back to, your message about, do you want me to sign you up or walk you through the site? So at that point, you can send them a cart letting them know like, hey, tomorrow's my day off. I won't be able to personally help you place your order, but here is a cart, and then you send them a cart with the directions on how to go ahead and sign themselves up. And then And that's that. And it's so crazy because I've came back to carts closed. I've came back to distributors signed up, and everything just by sending, taking that extra step and just saying like, hey, if you make your decision and it's tomorrow, I won't be able to help you personally, but here's a cart so you can go ahead and check yourself out and get what you need.
Yep. And just let them know, hey, I'll check back in with you on the day that you come back.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, actually check on them. So if you need to make a list, like do everything in decency and order. And then on top of that, I suggest sending out a text message. So I'll send out a text message to my newbies about 8 o'clock, and I'll have an alarm that'll go off on my phone 8 o'clock the night before I go out. And I will send them a message and say, hey, I'm off tomorrow. Just want to kind of give you a heads up and give you a reminder, but there is nothing that's an emergency and then kind of just giving them a task of what I want them to work on while I'm out for that day. And so let's go through this. Brittany, I'm going to share my screen. All right, Brittany. So you want Sabbath for me. What are we talking about?
We talking about keto coffee, or no, we talking about skinny brew, TFX, and Confianza.
Are you trying to lose some weight or what? You stressed out? Yeah, tell me a little more.
I'm trying to lose some weight, but I don't want my cortisol levels too high to where I can't effectively drop the weight that I want.
You don't know that. I'm supposed to tell you that. So I'm gonna make Brittany a shopping cart. You go into your app, and you're gonna click your face or that little. If you haven't put a face yet, you're gonna click that in the lower right hand corner, and then from there you're gonna click shopping list. I normally name mine sometimes, as you guys can see, so I can go back and just pick them. So I'm gonna click creating list down at the bottom, right? And I'm gonna give Brittany her own. Say, Brittany, trying to be skinny. Okay. So I know Brittany, and she says she wants to do skinny brew. Right now she's gonna do the pick 3 because we have that deal going on. So I'm gonna do the skinny brew. You said you wanted some TFXX.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a time where you can actually even upsell somebody too if you know something goes well in there. You didn't say skinny brew, you said keto coffee.
No, I said skinny brew. I said keto coffee at first, but I changed it to skinny brew.
Okay, and I'm gonna give her some Confianza because I'm gonna tell her like, hey, if you're kind of stressed out, you should do the Confianza because you might have high stress levels, which will block you from losing weight, period, right? Period. So we're gonna give her that too, and then I might say, I'm just gonna throw the wraps on there just in case. She can take them off. I'm like, hey, girl, I threw some wraps on there. You can take them off if you don't want them, but I love to wrap while I'm getting skinny because it shows me my results. So I'm gonna click save, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna click send, and then I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to come over to my web browser and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to hit enter. You can't just paste it. I have to enter, hit go, and it's going to switch the link. Yeah, see that? It's going to switch the link. Hey, Rachel, it's not showing the pick 3 on their cart. If they add it to the bag and continue, the price will change. The price will change. All right, so I'm gonna copy this link now. Come up here. I'm gonna copy that. And then I'm gonna pull up my social media so you guys can see that I can post this cart to my social media. So anytime you go live, and this is just a good habit across the board. Anytime you go live, and so don't go be looking at my live seeing if I got a cart because God is working on me. So don't judge me if I don't do it every single time. So every time you go live, every time you talk about a product, whatever, you want to drop that cart in of whatever products that you talked about in your post. Because if somebody, you got a lot of people who just be lurking. They might want to buy, but they might not want to hit your DMs. So just go ahead and drop the link. So I'm going to drop the link here. And I'm going to post, and you will see here that my cart is postable.
Yep.
And then I'm going to click it, and you'll see from there they can order the product. Oh yeah. Real simple, guys. So just to go back, I copied this link, right? I copied this link, went to my web browser, and I pasted it.
Yep. And so even though, I mean, outside of posting it on your social media, you can actually send them through Messenger too. So this
Messenger
is
too.
Yep, you can send them through Messenger, so you don't have to.
And it doesn't have to be. There it goes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can post it. Okay. So somebody asked about how do you create a closed thing. I do have the upgraded over, but just I'm going to do a real simple one to show you guys how easy this is. I just pulled up the app called Over. It's just OVER, right? It's yellow. And so I'm just going to come here to where it says white. And Brittany, you tell me if I'm moving too fast. But I'm going to slide over to where it says story. Just slide your finger, right? Here, let me go back. So here at the bottom, where that plus button is in the middle, I click the plus. It's going to say create at the top. I'm going to slide my finger over and click white or black, whatever you want to do here. And then scroll over and select story. I'm going to click the check mark. Pick a font, like real easy. Closed on, enter on Wednesday. Sup. Yeah, might not be correct grammar, but don't be judging. And so I'm just going to make this a little bigger, and I could literally just post this. Like, this, it's not that deep to add the razzle dazzle. I just want them to know that I am closed on Wednesdays. That simple.
Yep.
So, I think we covered everything.
We did.
You tell me, like, I guess the question now is, does anybody have any questions of something that you don't fully understand? Because at this point, it's just a matter of making up your mind. And let me tell y'all this, okay? We are a part of a Christian-based business, right? So we believe Jesus, okay? We believe in his word. We trust his word. And if we trust his word, we can't be partially trusting his word. And we trust God through our faith, and our faith is by actions. And so even though we can't see it, we know he's working. And we believe that it's what we hope for. And we're hoping for a lot of things. I know y'all hoping for a lot of things. Some of you guys are praying and working your butt off to get your diamond promotion, your double promotion, whatever, Ruby, executive, whatever. But I'm going to tell you this. You want to work your butt off on your 6th. You want to show up. Because showing up, so shout out to everybody who's on here, because showing up is half the battle. It really is. Like, it's half the battle. And as you show up, there are things that are going to start working inside of you. There are going to be beliefs that you didn't believe about yourself anymore. Like, you didn't believe, I don't know, you could have just believed that. I believe that you had to struggle in life financially. That's just something that I had. It was a belief. But because of it works, and because of me showing up and being in the room, I have different beliefs. And even though my circumstances and my situations may look the same initially, as I continue to show up, I started to believe in myself. I started to believe that things could change and be better. And then I started listening. And because I started listening to the people who I was watching, right? I started listening to those people. And I was like, they might be crazy. And I might believe that that doesn't work in my world. Can we just be honest?
Yes.
I did it anyway. And because I did it anyway, look at me now. And I got a long ways to go. I was about to sing a song for y'all.
I just want you guys to know that he is a gap filler. So wherever there is a gap in whatever, or wherever you feel like there's a gap in whatever you're doing and whatever you're working to overcompensate when you're not taking the day off, just know and rest assured that he will supply. He will fill that gap. And what you do in your might, you have to sustain in your might. And you want him to sustain that. And so you want to invite him in. He's not going to bogart his way into your business, your goals, or any of that. You want to invite him in and let him in. And the way that you show, you can't just always tell somebody you love them. You have to show it. And one of the ways that you can show God that you love him and that you trust him is to take this day off.
That's so good. And there was one thing that I wanted to say. So if you don't have a Bible, go buy one right now. Go to Amazon, you can get one for like $10. Ask your grandma now. Okay, they probably got 50 Bibles. Get you a Bible, because a lot of times what happens is on our day off, we go to apps. And because we go to apps, we use our phone. And so if you don't have a Bible, if you don't have a daily devotional, my favorite of all times is actually recommended by Cindy Pentecost. So it's called Discovering God Day by Day, Discovering God. Yep, Discovering, I think that's what it's called. Discovering God Day by Day by Henry Blackaby. Okay, Henry Blackaby. That devotional changed my whole perspective, just opening it up once a day and reading it. Get it off Amazon or go to the store, get you a Bible, and start to have some time with Christ and start to have some time with your family, okay? Yes. Fall back in love with your families.
Yes, and watch, and if you're going to watch a sermon, that's fine, but it needs to be on a computer, it needs to be on TV, like no apps on your phone, like no Bible apps, none of that, because like we said, it's second nature to go and open that blue app.
Yeah, and I truly believe, like, if you give the Holy Ghost permission, and that might sound crazy to somebody, but if you give him permission, he will convict you. Not condemn you, because he doesn't want to harm you, but he will convict you, and conviction is meant to bring change. And so you'll be on your phone and you'll just feel some type of way. Make you feel some type of way. And help it. Oh my goodness. Oh, Jesus, help me. So he will convict you. And when he convicts you, respond by being obedient. You know how when your mama catch you, or your mama would catch you, because you shouldn't get caught by your mom now, but how your mom would catch you and you'd be like, oh, dang, I got caught. And then you'd be like, well, I'm about to lie my way out of this. No, be convicted, feel the conviction, and allow the conviction to bring change, because you want better with your life. And so set some boundaries and then work like you've never worked before in your windows. When you sit down at your computer to do your host post, stop scrolling and actually get up your 10 to 15 host posts. Keep asking until 15 people put it up. And I'm speaking to myself too, because just like want to let you guys know, as an ambassador diamond, I have to check myself every single day. I wake up and I check myself. There are days when I wake up and I don't want to get a 10 host post. I don't want to get a 15 host post. But guess what I'm going to do? It anyway, okay? I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm not looking for somebody to check for me. I don't need my upline, because I don't have one, to check for me and say, my husband, that's about the only upline I have, okay? Anyways, I'm not looking for Breon to be like, did you get your 10 to 15 host posts up today?
Right.
No, I'm not doing that. Brittany should not be checking for me. Like Rachel, I'm gonna wait till Rachel asks me, and then I'm gonna say, oh, you know what? I should get my host post up today. Right. Like she's not doing that.
No, you have a business, you have your own goals, like you have things that you're working for, you have things that you want this business to do for you. So you want to be the self-starter. You want to show up regardless, because we show up regardless for work, for working and building other people's dreams. So how dare you not show up for yours? And be more than willing to show up for somebody else's. So yes, you definitely want to show up for yourself. There was a question in here asking what we actually do on our Sabbath. It's more so what you don't do and you don't work. But I will share what I do. I spend time with Jesus, allow him to refocus me, give me my plans for the week, order my steps. If this is your coach or, the person who is ordering your steps, how do you know what he's ordering if you don't go talk to him and spend time with him? So this is what I do. Definitely have my Jesus time. I spend time with my family. I do things that refuel me. I like to take long rides. So sometimes I might just go have a ride and listen to some praise and worship or listen to a sermon or something, but just do things that fill me up. And I enjoy my family. Just rest, naps.
I give me a nice 4-hour nap. I will say this because we talked about this yesterday, talking about refueling from post to post, because at times it can be overwhelming, and we teach to do it overwhelming. It doesn't matter. It's going to be listen, because you popping. It's a good thing. This is actually a really good thing. So when you guys have post to post blowing up, and you're like, oh my gosh, all these people. Oh my gosh, I got to add all these people as my friend. That is a blessing. Okay, I want you to count your blessings, name them one by one. Okay. And see what God has done. Okay, listen, like I have problems. But you want to count it as a blessing. So I love that, Brittany. We got another question here. Do you post on your Sabbath? Not at all. Or not at all. I do not, because like I said, it's a social media business. And so no matter how you twist it, you are engaging or getting people to, you can post a picture of your kid on your Sabbath, but isn't that getting people to look at your page?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to decide for yourself. But for me, I decided I'm not doing it because it's not by might, not by power, but by his spirit. And so I've decided I'm going to work my 6 and I'm going to allow that day to be for him. And I'm not going to work on that day. I don't wear It Works gear if I go out the house, because I don't want people to, oh, what works? And be like, well, God, she asked. So thank you for my door of opportunity. No, I'm not doing it.
Right. And it's like, no. Yeah, so I don't post, because again, like she said, it's still building your business, regardless if your intention behind the post was to build your business or not. It's still doing that because it's showing your presence on social media. And so, I mean, if you are still posting, you're not really taking a day off. Like, you're not disconnecting. You're not allowing yourself to be refueled, rejuvenated, or anything like that, because you're still on that app. Who wants to work 7 days a week? Any job, no matter if you like it or not. You don't want to be at work all day, every day. So this is your off day.
Somebody just asked, will we get blocked on Facebook? And we've been doing the cart on like our Facebook for maybe about 2-3 months now since we found out, and we have not been blocked. So I don't think so. Somebody asked about PDT, the link to join any HAPs. I always just send my PDT to my the secret inbox, or you can actually send them a cart. They have the option to check out as a distributor. So once the card just takes them to your website. So if they're gonna, boost, you can just put the boost products in there and then send them the cart. And then at the top, they would just click join as a distributor. So that's another thing. So I have one question here. I'm having such a hard time with my husband being very negative and always putting me down, because I want to do this business and it's getting so hard. What can I do? Win. Work your window and win. Because a lot of times what happens is, and this is another thing, that was a good question. And I wish somebody would have told me this when I first began, because I came so obsessed with my business. And you got to know that you are planting seeds. And sometimes the seeds don't grow right away, but you have to remain brave, patient, and consistent. Because if you don't remain brave, patient, and consistent, you'll never see the fruits of your labor. You'll never get to the tweak that you need to make in order to get the rain, like in order to reap your harvest, right? So work your windows. If your husband is giving you 2 hours, have a conversation. Okay, I'm going to work my business in the morning before you get your butt up. Okay, get up before your kids. Can I say that? I'm sorry. Get up before your family. Fight to get up. Have that alone time with Christ, and then work your business for 30 minutes to an hour. Take your business seriously. And if you take your business seriously, it'll start paying you seriously. And then your husband will be like, get a comma in your check. You get the comment in your check, they be like, oh, okay, this is not just a play around game. This is a game that can pay some bills in my house, So win. You got to win, and you got to get your mind right and still honor and respect your husband, because he is your husband. And then, girl, add your husband to your prayer list, because God can break some things, okay? So God, you tell Jesus on your spouse, okay? Tell Jesus on your spouse. Yep. Tell Jesus about your spouse and ask for God to open up his heart, but then also ask God to give you a spirit of excellency so that you can walk in excellency. And as you walk in excellence, then you'll start to manifest the things that you desire.
Yes. And then the Sabbath will help. Because
Yeah, because he'd be like, oh, I see my wife today, and on your Sabbath, girl, get sexy.
Dang, I saw another question and I lost it.
Right, and then I see, will you post it as a URL? Yes, it will be a URL. Yes, it will. All right, is there any other questions? We're gonna go ahead and end this. If you guys, let me see. All right, if you guys have not started, and this is just across the board, if you have not started Alone Time, and we talked about this on the summer camp, so if you have not watched the replay, go back, go back. Hope you got that you got the $14.99 packet, and you can go back and watch it again. Content is so good that you need to consume it more than once, okay? And take notes, y'all. It's statistically known. I don't know who made the statistic, but it's statistically that you write down things, you will retain it better. So go back to the summer camp and actually take down notes. And then also, when you get up in the morning, like how many times Pam, Cammy, everybody has told you guys to start journaling. If you're not being obedient and you desire for your business to work, it's not working because you're disobedient. Like, it's not your life. It's your bravery. And this is why you want to be brave, patient, and consistent. Because if you're brave enough to do things different than how you've ever done them before, trusting the people that are in this business, trusting your enroller, trusting your upline, because they only desire the best for you. They only want the best for you. So you need to be consistent. And they tell you to buy a journal, go buy a journal. If you need help in order, and Brittany can speak to this, if you need help in order to be consistent, set alarms in your phone. Set alarms that go off, and then honor your alarms. So if your alarm says, get your butt out the bed, get your butt out the bed. And speak to yourself and say, I do what I'm supposed to do, not what I want to do, because we don't trust our feelings. Okay? We don't trust them.
Yes. Yes, get you a journal and get you a calendar. Because you know how we were talking about that irrational thinking and all of that, when you're grinding and not walking in grace, that is so true. I had a one-to-one with Rachel and she was like, girl, what your schedule look like? I was like, I don't have one. And that was because I was in a place of grinding and not in a place of grace. And so I'm telling you guys, like,
tell your time where to go. You guys are business professionals. Like, you are a professional. And so you want to walk into it. Like, you are an entrepreneur and you are a business owner. And so it's time to start acting like it. You would never walk into a business that did not keep a schedule. You wouldn't even go to a doctor that you could not book an appointment with. So be mindful that you need to have a schedule so that you can tell your time where to go. All of it. Tell your time where to go. Somebody asked, do you post the cart under a host of posts? I do not, but you made me intrigued. I might go bump all my host of posts today.
Right, I know. Because I have not done that.
Shout out to you, Deborah. I'm signing all loyals today.
Somebody said the family call on Sunday would be an exception. So I'm actually a person who takes my Sabbath on Sunday. And no, I wake up and do it first thing Monday morning, listen to the family call on Monday morning.
Yep, so you have to decide. We have some people who do sundown on Saturday to sundown Sunday so that they can listen to the family call. I take my off day on Wednesday, so I'm always on the family call. So you have to decide what's best for your family. But there are no exceptions. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, you give me an example. There are no exceptions. Okay, let me give you an example. That's like, oh God, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like compromising. I don't even know how to explain it. No.
You just don't.
Be disciplined enough to get up on Monday and do it. Or make it because you know we do have Sunday night family call. Do sundown to sundown. Do 8 p.m. Saturday to 8 p.m. on Sunday. Do it like that so that because you don't want to miss the family call. So, yes. But you don't want to compromise, because if you'll compromise on that, you'll compromise on everything, because we know how you do anything is how you do everything. So, and especially if you do it for Jesus, look, because if you'll do it to the Lord, you'll do it to yourself and everybody else. Let's see if okay, guys, we're going to finish this out because we don't want to hold you guys because we can just keep talking about all the things. So we're going to close this out. Do you see any other questions, Brittany?
I don't. Not that.
Okay. Somebody asked about lots of stuff. It doesn't have to be Sunday. I think that's the biggest thing. You just pick a day that works for your family. Does your husband work and he's off on Wednesdays? Be off on Wednesdays. Like, pick a day that your family can fully connect. And if your spouse is not on board just yet, that's fine. Pick a day for you and your kids, and then pray about your spouse opening up and joining in.
Yeah, and then there was one saying, does your Sabbath alternate? Not unless, so I'll let Rachel share hers, because hers does alternate, but it's not all the time.
Yeah, it's basketball season. So my husband is a basketball coach, and so during basketball season, we're off on Sundays. During the off season, we're off on Wednesdays, and that's just because I love Wednesdays, because I can completely disconnect. Somebody said, can they pay for summer camp? I believe you can. Log into eSuite, go to the live events tab, and you should be able to purchase it right there and go ahead and watch it and take advantage of all of the perks. There was one more question that I saw. Sorry, just somebody said, that's a good question, Stacy. So as we said in the beginning, and you guys will be able to go back and watch the replay, she said, what about promotion months? Do we Sabbath? Girl, listen. God is number one. Let me be clear, okay? It's my spouse comes after God. So it's God first, then your spouse, then your kids, then my business, families, and yes. Then my business. And that doesn't mean that you get to make excuses. Y'all, I believe you pray for discernment, because God will make it clear. Think about your job and how you would respect your job. I always tell people, you want to respect your business 10 times more, because it can give you 10 times more than a job could ever give you. Insert disclaimer, the disclaimer right there. Insert income disclosure.
Yeah, so if you know that your Sabbath, so like for me, when I went double diamond in May, and my diamond, she went diamond on her Sabbath. So
on her day off.
On her day off, she promoted
diamond
back as a diamond. Me, I knew when my Sabbath was, and so I decided that I was going to promote before my Sabbath. It was a non-negotiable. So, that's how you work that.
It's gonna be great. I'm telling you guys, just do it. Just try it. Reach out to your enroller. Reach out to your diamond leader. They're gonna help you. They're gonna help you walk through this. Diamond leaders, y'all gonna be examples for your teams. You're gonna trust God. Even if you kicking and screaming, my prayer is that God will touch your heart, that you would implement it. We know that God honors the Sabbath. Go read y'all word. God, let me tell y'all, 2 years, y'all, I went Ambassador Diamond, taking a day off, and my team could not believe the peace that I had. After Auto Ships ran, I needed 50,000 in volume. 50,000 in volume after Auto Ships ran in order to promote to Ambassador, and God did it. And I honored the Sabbath. I honored my time I went to bed, y'all. I did not stay up all hours of the night, but I worked my butt off in my windows, the windows that I allotted to my business. And guys, it made that promotion the biggest blessing ever. And all I could do is sit back and say, God did it. I didn't do that. It wasn't by might. It was by God's spirit that I promoted to Ambassador Diamond. And it was the same, because Brittany was at the moment, she wasn't listening to me, and she wasn't taking a day off. And she was looking real stressed on my promotion. Just share that real quick before we hop off here.
So at that point, I had not started taking the day off, and it was the last day of the month. Rachel, or was it the day before? I don't even know, but Rachel was sitting in the middle of the floor, just like so peaceful, wrapped up in her blanket with her heater on, and I'm sitting up in the corner like about to scream, pull my hair out, because I had worked, and I just couldn't see clearly. And once you exert all that energy and you don't get to where you want it to be, or where you work to be, it could be discouraging. It can make you feel discouraged. But that's because you're doing things in your might and you're out of alignment. And so Yeah, it was crazy. I was just looking at her like, she told me, don't come over here with all that bad juju. We peaceful over here. And I'm like, all right. So I had to, embrace her peace. Just look at her so
Embrace
peaceful.
my peace. And here's the thing, Brittany. This is for somebody right now. I was willing to be the exception until everybody else got on board. Mm-hmm. And so just because my team was not taking a day off did not mean that they could blow me up on my day off. Did not mean that I wasn't taking a day off. I was willing to be the exception. So you may be the only person on your team that's willing to trust God enough to take a day off. But I'm going to tell you what, it'll make you better. It'll make you put better systems into place. It'll make you train your people better, equip them better, because you are taking that day off. And so you want them to be fully equipped and able to work regardless, because that's what we desire. We work in a residual place to where you should not have to be present to make money. That's the thing. And if you have to be present, you might as well be working a job.
That right there. That right there.
I'm gonna pray, Brittany. Let's pray. All right, guys, I'm gonna pray and we're gonna hop off here. Thank you guys for hanging with us, and we're hoping that we gave you exactly what you need in order to feel equipped to take that day off. I'm gonna tell you, at the end of the day, you just gotta trust God. You gotta trust God and wake up and be your best self. Get your calendar, make your 2-hour blocks, your 1-hour block, your 30-minute block, whatever you're willing to give, but just be consistent. So in this moment, are you gonna work 30 minutes a day, your 6 days? Are you gonna work 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening? Are you going to work an hour, 2-hour window if you're doing this full time? What are you going to do? And then also bringing people into that accountability, because community is everything. And so if you're somebody who's like, for real, this is real, because I used to actually work with people who had substance abuse problems. You can't do that alone. You can't. And so right now you're shifting and transforming your life. And so you need a high level of accountability. My kids that I used to work with who were having substance abuse problems, they would come see me initially, sometimes 2 days a week, to hold them at that high level of accountability. And so put yourself on blast. Say it. Tell somebody, I'm taking a day off. I'm going to honor the Sabbath. And people might be like, girl, don't nobody honor the Sabbath, or what is that? You religious? Like, it's not that. And as you get that relationship with Christ, you'll understand that it's an obedience thing. So I'm going to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we love you. Oh, God, we love you. We love you. God, we're just praying right now in this moment that everybody who's made up their mind, that you just strengthen them like never before to be willing to be obedient and take this day off. God, I'm just praying a double portion on It Works right now, God. Oh, God, just even for this space and It Works willingness to be in a position to honor you by telling the entire corporate to take a day off. And so, God, we're just trusting you. We're believing you. I'm praying that this opens up the faith that people didn't even know that they had in you, God, that trust just expands beyond anything that they can think or imagine, God, that even in the midst, oh, God, just thank you for the opportunity for people to be able to trust in you and handing their businesses back over to you, because I can even feel that there's so many people who have taken their businesses into their own hands, but in this moment that they decide that they're going to take a day off and they're going to honor the Sabbath, God, that they're handing it back over to you. And so, God, as they hand it back over to you, we're just praying that you touch it, that you touch it. God, I'm pleading that you touch it and that you bless their obedience like never before. So, God, we just honor you and we love you and we adore you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much, Brittany. You guys have a good day.